What's up, everyone? This is DyanaRozay. Welcome to my channel. I have a recap for Love and Marriage Huntsville. This is season 4B, episode 28. And y'all, it was a 10 out of 10 again, okay? And a few hours after the show, Mel dropped this to her IG stories. One day, may you no longer fall for the shenanigans. Hashtag sheesh. Be ready to fall for anything. Please be stronger. See the facts, remove the rose-colored glasses, gotta be stronger. Then she said, praying for you with a knockout emoji. Now, when you see how that trip in Destin ended, compared to what Melody and Martel are going through right now, it definitely felt like this message was tied to the episode, and I'm gonna tell y'all all about it. But before I do, go ahead, hit that like, subscribe, and that notification bell. Also, become a member of the channel. The link is pinned in the comment section. And as always, I appreciate every single one of y'all for rocking with me. So let's get started. So we pick up where we left off with part 3 of the Destin, Florida trip. Miss Van joins everyone at the beach house. Melody and her mother go upstairs to talk about everything that's gone on so far, while Martel and his mom stays downstairs with the kids. Miss Vanessa asks if everything's been good and if he has been okay. Mel said yes, and whenever things were off, she would go to her room and get her energy right. Then she said this was their first trip post-divorce. Miss Van said, I can imagine things being a little triggering, and Melody said, well, Martel did take it upon himself to invite the Scotts to the beach house. When asked how things went between her and Tisha, Mel said, I can be cordial. We laughed, we talked, but that's it. It's not going any further. Mel's mom agreed. She said, good, because it doesn't need to. Now downstairs, Martel and his mama were having a much different conversation. Miss Marlene said that this trip has been some of the best days of her life. Martel said, I can honestly say that too, because I didn't think it was ever going to happen again. Then she told Martel that him, Melody, and the kids were her family. And when they broke up, she was heartbroken. And then we get a flashback scene of Martel telling his mom that he had gotten his mistress pregnant. And even in that scene, Miss Marlene tried to keep it together when Martel gave her the news, but she dropped her head in her hand and started crying. But she tells Martel that what they have right here, right now, at this beach house is a memory that she's going to cherish forever. She said that the trip has been so much fun, it's like nothing ever happened. Then Martel got this weird look on his face, the kind that a man gets when he knows he can't fix it, so he just checks out. But Marlene kept going. She said that little Tank told her he loves that his mom and dad are getting along and that the entire family is all together. Then Martel says that he would love to continue the family trips too. However, if Melody starts dating or if he starts dating, it may not happen. Now, in the previous 2 episodes, Martel kept talking about how hopeful he was that him and Melody could get back together. But now he's singing a really different tune, and even his energy has changed a bit. Maybe he's a little sad that that was their last day in Destin, or maybe he discovered that Melody has moved on with another man. But Miss Marlene tells her son that it's always about the kids, and what Melody and Martel are doing right now is perfect. Everybody else is going to come and go, but the children will still be here. In confessional, Martel said that everything was going so good that he wishes he could freeze time. He also said that he doesn't know if he will ever see it again. Then the entire family gathers in the kitchen and Martel asks if everyone's ready to go to the yacht, and baby sugar mama screamed, yes! Now, once everyone boarded, the kids and the grown-ups alike raced around the yacht, checking every nook and cranny. And when Martel meets up with Melody again, he said, girl, this is nice. Then Mel said, is this your first time on a yacht? Welcome to the nice life. Then Martel said, girl, be quiet. I could have, I just haven't. Now, when Martel was bragging to the Scott brothers and Lewis at that basketball game that he was the one who took the family to Destin, you could tell that Melody's trip to Destin was a little bit more than what he was used to. The beach house, the chef, and now the yacht, it's hitting him over the head like a ton of bricks. And even though he's trying to, on the surface level, act like he's okay and happy about everything, He is not. Then Melody meets the captain, and he tells her that they have a bad storm coming through and that they're going to have to stay docked. In confessional, Mel said that the kids have been talking about this yacht trip for an entire week, and having to break the news that they can't go out into the water will be like breaking a promise. And Mariah did seem to take it the hardest, but they all decided to stay on the boat to see if the weather was going to break. And Melody turned on the karaoke machine, okay? She jokingly asked Martel if it was okay to play one of her songs, but baby, he didn't take that as a joke at all. Mel tried to break the mood and said, I had no intention of playing the song. I was just joking with you, but Martel could not get out of his feelings. In confessional, he said that he came a long way since Vegas because previously he would have popped off. He also said that Melody playing negative songs about the kid's father was tacky. Now, at this moment, it is just painfully obvious that Martel is in his feelings because he knows he's not going to get Melody back. I mean, the kids are running around happy as can be. They're hopeful. His mama just told him that she had some of the best days of her life being at the beach with all of them. And now this song is a reminder that he lost it all. Because let's face it, the tackiest thing you can do is impregnate your mistress a few short weeks after your wife gives birth. Next, we have the Scott brothers. Maurice goes over to Marceau's house to talk to him about Kimmy. And when he gets there, Marceau jokingly asks him if he wants to help him with some yard work. Maurice jokes with him a little bit, but then he asks if they can sit down because he needs to talk. Then he says that Kimmy is going through breast cancer and it's highly aggressive. Marceau freezes for a minute and it looks like he's running a conversation through his mind. Then he asks, is it certain? Maurice says 100%. Then Marceau squeezes his eyes tight, the way you would when you don't want to believe something's true. Then he covers his eyes and face with his hands and rubs it back over his head. Then he said, Tisha told me, but she didn't tell me like this. And I'm kind of curious as to what she exactly said to him, because when she got to that house or when she was able to speak with him, she should have said, your brother needs you. You have to call him. But Maurice says that he figured Tisha told him, even though she didn't. And then he said that he's been tasked with telling all the friends and family because Kimmy can't relive it over and over again. Then he said that Kimmy having to face her own mortality has been hard for him to watch, and that he's carrying a lot of guilt because he was the one who forced Kimmy to quit her nursing job and to get into real estate. He said that the change in health insurance delayed her mammogram. Marceau tells Maurice that he can't do that to himself, and Maurice said, I have to tell someone because I can't tell her. Then he said he's trying to be strong for Kimmy, but he said he's weak on the inside and he doesn't know what he can do to help her. He also said that he really doesn't know what Kimmy needs right now. Does she need him to be strong or does she need him to be real? He told Marceau that this was the first time that he's ever felt like a mortal and that he was humbled because this was the first time that he has ever needed God. And if I'm not mistaken, Kimmy said that Maurice was a deacon in the church. But Marceau told his brother that his heart goes out to him and to his sister, and he stood up to hug him. And when he did, Maurice wept, and I mean hard. In the next scene, we go back to Destin, and the sun has come out so they can actually sail the yacht. And look who is driving the boat. Melody said that Tank never left the wheel, okay? But everybody was happy. Marlene was dancing, the kids were dancing, even Melody and Martel were dancing. Melody's mom said it took a minute, but she's happy that they were all able to get there. And then Martel said that most of the time, people associate hurt with women, but he was hurt too. He said he knows he's done some things and that he said some things. And Melody's facial expression looked like she wanted to do and say some things, okay? But she kept it cute. Either way, Martel said he's glad they're in a space where they can invite each other to things for the kids. Mel said, I'm not coming to nothing unless there's changed behavior. Then she asked Martel if he had healed from the divorce. Martel said yes, and she said 100%. Then he said, I can't say that. Then Mel asked for examples on how he's healed. Martel said, "You've been throwing jabs at me the entire trip, and I haven't responded. I've taken the high road." Then we get a flashback of what Martel referred to as jabs. The first one was Melody saying that she was going to go switch up her hair real quick after Martel told Tisha that Mel looks good in the braids. The second time was when Mel told Marceau and Tisha that Martel didn't believe in a village, and then of course Melody joking that she wanted to play her song for karaoke. But then Martel has an epiphany, and he said that even though the song was a trigger for him, that he realizes that it was a part of Melody's healing journey too. Melody says, "I'm proud of you, Martel," and even her mother said, "I'm proud of you too. A year ago, you would have gone ballistic." Then Mama Holt comes to join Melody, Martel, and Vanessa on the deck. They try to catch her up on what they're talking about, but Mama Holt said, "Listen, I'm sipping on something now. That little pineapple cup is full of something on the rocks, okay?" But she tells everyone that they just need to be happy. In other words, don't kill her buzz. Then Mel asked her, "Mama Holt, when you were growing up, did you guys talk about things or did you brush over them?" Marlene said that her life was very different. She said she worked 2 jobs, and if she told her boys to do something and they didn't do it, they got their ass whooped. Then she said, "But I did what I knew how to do." Then Mel asked, "But what if they were bullied or sad or hurt?" Then she asked Martel, "Didn't you say that you were bullied growing up?" Then Martel said, "Yeah, but I don't believe I ever mentioned it to her." And you can tell that as a grown-ass man, 40 years old, he still didn't want to mention it to her. He tried to brush that conversation completely under the rug. But Mama Holt jumped right on in there and she said that would be considered whining. Melody said if they're 7 or 8, that's considered whining. Mama Holt said, "Yeah." In confessional, Melody said that the days of kids being seen and not heard explain a lot about adults who are unable to communicate. But Mel tells Mama Holt that once you understand where you've been, you can heal and truly move forward. Miss Marlene said, "Listen, well, it's a good thing that them babies have both of their parents, and you can tell that she is in no mood to be lectured." She said that she was a single mother who would have done anything for the help of her kid's father. Mel looks over at Martel and said, "Didn't your grandmother help?" But again, Miss Marlene was not in the mood, okay? She quickly said, "I was not the type of mother who pushed my kids off on my mama." But if you were a young single mother with 2 jobs, Miss Marlene, somebody would have had to help. But at this point, everyone is done with the conversation. Melody stops talking and just looks off. Martel is like, "You were a great mom. You were a good support." Even Miss Van tried to keep the peace and said, "At the end of the day, there is nothing like family, okay?" Martel says, "I hope that it can stay like this." And Melody said, "As long as you don't start no shit, it can." And then she gets up to go check on the kids. Martel said, "See, I have to overlook everything Melody says." Melody laughs and Martel laughs at that too. Then after the yacht ride, Martel made dinner reservations. He was real excited about it. He said this was a very good place to eat. And he reserved 2 tables, one for the grandmothers and the kids, and one for him and Melody. Now, Melody said that she was really hungry and looking forward to dinner before she found out about those seating arrangements. And she said that she hoped it wasn't another attempt to reconcile. Then after they ordered their food and drinks, I'm assuming, Melody said, "Get to it." She was like, "You got us sitting at a table away from the rest of the family. So what is it that you want to talk about?" Then Martel starts to give the speech that he has probably rehearsed in his head a million times. He said, "Listen, there were things that you weren't doing to take care of me in the marriage, and maybe I was childish, maybe I wasn't as accepting as I needed to be." And then Melody interrupts and said, "Listen, is this about head? Because I'm tired of hearing about it." Martel says no, but Melody said, "That's all you ever talk about." Martel then attempts to rephrase it. He says, "Clearly there was something I was doing that made you not want to do these things for me." But Mel said, "Well, did I ever give you head, Martel?" He said, "Yes, of course." Then he says, "Can we just move past this part?" And Mel goes, "So you don't want to know. Gotcha." Now, Martel should have called over a waiter and asked if they could join their table with the kids' table. He was definitely asking for a lot at that point. When Melody was in the marriage and she was begging you to help her save it, you didn't want to, and now you are begging her to help you understand what you did wrong. In confessional, Melody said that Martel needs to call Dr. Francis for any unresolved issues that he might have. But then Martel tells Melody that he doesn't want any negativity whatsoever. Then he changes the subject and says, "How has the trip been for you so far?" Now, Melody had to take a pause before answering that question, okay? And it's a good thing she did, because you could see on her face that she was tired and she was about to clear Martel. But instead she said, "It was all right, only I wasn't expecting you to invite Tisha and Marceau." Martel says, "Why not? Our kids know each other and we had fun together." Mel said, "I had fun before they came and I had fun after they came." Then she said, "I will never be cool with people who try to team up to war against me. They are my enemy and they always will be." And there was no confusion here at all, unlike that crazy conversation she had with Destiny, where Destiny confused the word ops with enemy. Here, she is calling both Marceau and Tisha her enemy. Then Martel says, "Who tried to team up against you?" And by the way, he told on himself when he said it. Because you know damn well that Tisha's whole family, her cousin and her mama too, teamed up on your behalf to come after Melody. And Melody called him out and said, "You were the ringleader, boo." Then Martel pretended to be completely clueless, okay? But you can tell it's an act. He keeps saying things like, "What are you talking about? Oh my God, what am I hearing right now? Melody, stop it. Stop being so negative." And Mel called his ass out on that too, okay? In confessional, she said, "This is typical Martel, gaslighting me." Mel said, "I have triggers and limits, and right now, Martel has ignited both." But then Martel tells her, "Please stop, please, for the sake of the kids," which is another form of manipulation, by the way. She's saying things that you don't like, so now you need her to stop for the sake of the kids. Then Mel switches up the subject and she asks Martel if he would be interested in parenting classes, to which he says yes. Then Martel says that he didn't just come on the trip for the kids. He said that he was also there because he was apologetic for what he had put Mel through. Mel asked what makes this time different from all the others, and Martel said because now he understands. He takes 100% accountability, and he said that ultimately he knows he was the cause of the demise of their relationship. He said he's sorry for everything that he put her through, and that their lives as husband and wife was planned out. Their children's lives were planned out. And instead of pointing the finger at her, he should have been pointing the finger at himself. He said that he wanted to tell her this while she was in a good space, so that she could receive it. And Mel said, "I do receive it." And the whole time that Martel was saying all of this to Melody, she was staring him directly in his eyes. She was nodding her head and she was slightly rocking back and forth. Now, this is the big apology. This is the one that all of the fans have been waiting for. Are you going to apologize to Mel, right? Mel says she received it, and in confessional, she actually said that she hopes her and Martel could be friends again someday. I'm not sure if she feels the same way now. Let me know what y'all think about it, okay? In the last scene, we get Melody and Martel. Melody is sitting on the balcony and Martel comes out to join her. He's wearing these flowered shorts, I guess the one that little boss baby likes. And he's also wearing a warm-up jacket. He has it zipped down to his navel. When he came out on the balcony, Mel asked what was he wearing. And basically, why is that zipper down on that jacket? Martel said this was his driving clothes. He's on his way out. Mel said, "Do you plan on stopping on the side of the road and doing a performance or two?" Which he definitely caught, but he ignored. I think that Martel wanted Mel to see what he was working with. And she shot him down one more time, okay? But she did end up saying that she had a great time on the trip. She said it wasn't just good for us. It was good for our moms. It was good for the kids. Then she told Martel that he surprised her with a dinner table for just the two of them. But before she could finish, Martel jumped at her and he started telling her, "You know what? We should be able to sit together and talk things out." talk about trips together and how we would like to move forward. We should be able to do this and you should be cool. Then Mel asked if she could finish her statement because the direction he took that in had nothing to do with what she wanted to say. Then she told Martel that they never have to rehash the past again, that they need to live in the present and just think about the future moving forward. She reiterated that they are going to have partners, new partners, boyfriend, girlfriends, perhaps even a husband and a wife. And if they could all go on vacation together with their significant others, they would be in a great place. The entire time she's telling him this, he's looking out into the water and he's slightly agitated, you can tell. And Melody definitely knows it. In confessional, she said that Martel is not ready to see her date. And she said the last time that Martel had saw her with someone, he ran up on him and said that he will say and do whatever he wants to say and do because he had never seen her with anyone else before. And she said that wasn't too long ago. And in Martel's confessional, he said that he was really hoping Mel would give him some insight on where he went wrong prior to the cheating. He said that if he gets married again, it would help him be successful and it would help him grow. And then we get a scene with everyone leaving the house, the kids, Martel, the moms. Melody stays behind. Martel actually thanks Melody for helping him out with the kids. Basically, I guess Miss Vanessa's going to watch them while he attends the Essence Festival for the book signing. And Melody is like, look, we can do this all the time. I have no problem with it as long as we don't disrespect each other, as long as we don't cross boundaries. Martel agrees. And Melody said that she considers the trip a success. And that is how the show ends. But we did get a preview for next week. Marceau asked for a meeting with Melody to talk about the shenanigans that went down with his brother. It also looks like he failed to tell Tisha about it until after he arranged it. And when she did find out about it, she said it was unacceptable. And Marceau had the nerve to suggest that she was jealous of Mel. Whew, the disrespect. I'm telling you, the disrespect. But you guys, let me know what y'all think about everything in the comments. Like the video, subscribe to my channel, hit your notification bell, and I will check you all on the next one.